So guys, these are actually a pair of gloves that someone sent out for me to sign. So yeah, just thought I'd leave that there. Anyone wants me to sign stuff, feel free, send it to the gym. I like it, makes me feel good. What is in my UFC kit bag? Okay guys, we thought that it's only right that I go through my kit bag. I know that people quite like these sort of videos as it's quite interesting maybe to someone that doesn't train. So today I'm gonna go through everything that is essential in my bag. First things first guys, always got to protect the hands. I wear the Fortress wraps, which have got a nice chunk of hair on, as you can see. That's probably the wife's from when I've taken them home and washed them. But these are essential to keeping your hands protected. Obviously you can always have your normal wraps, but I'm a little bit bougie and I like to just slip these on when I'm in a rush. Then guys, to have my hands protected, I've got a nice pair of Grants. These aren't the cheapest of gloves. It's not essential that people buy these sort of gloves, but yeah, you know, this is my profession. I don't mind spending a few quid on some good equipment, and I do find that Grant gloves are pretty amazing. You know, they're doing well so far. So these are my 10 ounce, which I use for pads, bag work, etc. I do have a pair of 14 ounce, of course, for sparring, which, like the shin guards, I do leave in the gym. Next up, guys, we have the 4 ounce MMA gloves, which I use for technique thing. You know, I'm not going to be sparring in these, don't worry. But it's important that we get the feel for it. You know, when we're grappling, we like to put these on because at the end of the day, we are MMA fighters. So when we grapple, we need to get used to having these 4 ounce gloves on as opposed to grappling for just jiu-jitsu events. You know, obviously, jiu-jitsu is completely different to MMA. So it is important that we make our training sessions as realistic as possible to a fight. These gloves here, guys, are pretty battered. They are the UFC gloves when they changed them to the new design. They sent us out some to get used to, but they have now gone back to the old ones, which I definitely prefer. But yeah, these have been good so far. They are pretty worn out, but as you can imagine, I'm using them a lot. Next up, guys, these are the MMA gloves that we spar in. These are Fly. They're 8 ounce, so you can put a bit more power in, obviously, than these MMA ones here. And they do have a lot more padding on. As you can see here, these gloves, you're just going to end up cutting your sparring partners. So when we put these ones on, it protects our sparring partner, protects our hand a bit more, and still allows us to be able to grapple. Whereas with a boxing glove, it's going to be pretty hard to grapple, wrestle, etc. Now guys, the most important piece of your kit, as some people don't wear them, I think they're absolutely crazy. I do want to have more kids, so is a groin guard. Yeah, this is probably the most crucial thing in my kit bag. If I don't have it, I'm not sparring. As I say, if you watch my fight with Naimov, getting kicked in the groin, it isn't pretty. And yeah, there are a lot of people that don't wear them who I think are absolutely insane. If I spin the bag around, guys, in this zip here, obviously a bit of aftershave, bit of Tom Ford, keep the wife happy. Gum shield, also one of the most important parts of the kit. That and groin guard. If I don't have either of them, I'm not sparring. And I do have some electrolytes. Some people do spar without mouth guard. Grappling, for me, it's not the one. You know, if you get a little smack, it's ulcers, and yeah, mouth injuries are probably the most painful, I think, out of them all. Guys, also, I've not got it in my bag. I've actually left it at home, but one of the most important things I find now is your head guard. It avoids cuts, and in MMA and UFC at this point, there's too much money on the line to be pulling out of fights due to cuts or any sort of, you know, superficial injuries. So I do wear a head guard now all the time in sparring, but yeah, I've left that one at home today. I do have a lock as well, guys, for a locker if I need it. You know, you can never trust too many people out here. Also, guys, got to keep your black belt. Even though I don't wear the gi much, got to always have your black belt there. Next up, a towel. Got to keep clean after your training sessions, which brings me on to the Vigor 8. If anyone follows me on social media, you'll know I promote this brand a lot. It is one of the best brands to avoid skin infections. Things like staph infection, things like ringworm. Staph infection can take people out of their fights, so I do invest in a bit of Vigor 8. I am actually on the back of the bottle. It's because it's my osteopath that runs the company, and because I've promoted it a lot for him, he thought it was only right that they put the best looking fighter on the planet on the back of the bottle. Next up, aftershave. Again, got to keep the wife happy. Just in case I run out, I've got another one. There's nothing worse than a bit of BO, guys. So after your session, make sure to spray. I do like to keep some amino acids in. These are the Fawn brand that I use. These are given to us usually on UFC Fight Week as well. It's quite expensive stuff, so I do make sure to just take as much as I can when I see the UFC. But I do find that these help. So these with some electrolytes, very good. Always keep a bottle in your bag, guys, because you never know when you're going to need to fill it up. We do have drinks here in the gym, but if the fridge is locked and no one else is here, I don't want to be without a bottle, without getting the right amino acids in my water. Oh, this here. So, guys, these are actually a pair of gloves that someone sent out for me to sign. So, yeah, just thought I'd leave that there. Anyone wants me to sign stuff, feel free, send it to the gym. I like it, makes me feel good. I also have some AirPods in here, guys, to make sure I've got good music. And other than the stuff I leave at the gym, that is what I keep in my UFC kit bag. Of course, I do always bring my training clothes with me, but I have just finished training and they are sweaty on the floor, so I thought I would leave them out. So guys, that is what is in my UFC kit bag. Everyone, I imagine, is different. We are very fortunate that at the gym we are at now, we do have some lockers, so I leave things like my shin guards, my sparring gloves in there. I've got things like elbow pads as well, but you know, traveling with all of that in your bag can be a little bit of a pain. So luckily, Brad lets me leave some in the lockers as long as they're not smelling. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Leave in the comments if there's anything that you think I should include in my kit bag. Stay lucky and tune in next time.